joined here now by Buccaneers head coach Mike Nienaber. Coach, Thursday night could have been immediately on ESPN Classics, the way that one was, and tonight you led start to finish in what you needed to get the victory to get the home game Tuesday night against West Florida. Congratulations on the 4 seed, the home victory, and what a day for your seniors to start the game the way they did, and let them end the game with a victory here at Canale.
It was great. I mean, you know, you could have fooled me on the start to finish lead thing because it didn't feel like we led the whole game. That's
it
for
really
sure.
didn't.
It was a lot tougher and closer than that final score indicated, but it was good that we finally got a little separation there. And you know, they're a hard team to guard, like most teams in the league are for us. We're just, you know, we have trouble keeping in front of people, the athleticism, but we did finally do a pretty good job of staying packed in there. And you know, it's a great win. But, you know, we got 2 big ones this week that we took care of. Ooh. Now we got one more that is, you know, biggest game we've played in a long time, because it's very likely an NCAA play-in game. I mean, it's not definite that we wouldn't get in, but you know, we'll see what happens with the regional rankings this week. I feel like we'll definitely go ahead of Shorter. We were 8. I think we were 8 last week, and Shorter was 7, and West Florida was 6. So you know, you got to wait and see what happens in West Florida today. But minimal, if West Florida wins at home today, which that's a toss-up kind of game, because
is that Valdosta?
Yeah, no, they're playing Shorter.
Okay.
So one of them is going to lose today.
Right.
So either Shorter's going to get 2 losses and fall even farther behind us. As far as, there's no way if Shorter loses 2 games with us,
2 that we won,
we are going ahead of them, and we're a couple games ahead of them in the conference standing. So there's no way they keep Shorter ahead of us. The second step is us in West Florida. If we're 6 and 7, like we've been, and we go into that game and we beat West Florida, then we're going to probably leap over them, because we tied regular season. It would be the 3rd match. If we win 2 out of 3, you would think we would move ahead of them and go to the 6th spot, which is important because the 6th spot is a little more upset proof.
Right.
You know, if you're 6 and 7, the 7th place team can get in, but if there's an upset in the Gulf South or in Florida, we got knocked. We got knocked out like that. The worst was in 2004. We were 23 and 6, and we were 6th in the region, and had 3 teams. All 3 tournaments, the Florida League, the SIAC, the Moines League, and our league, all had upset winners. And the 3 tournament winners wound up 6, 7, and 8 seeds in the tournament, and we got stuck at home. So, you know, I don't think there's the good thing about it this year. If you get to 6, I don't think the SIAC, if they don't have I think the SIAC's only going to get 1 team.
Right.
If one of their higher ranked teams doesn't win the tournament, they're going to fall enough, because they're already not in the top 8. So I think whoever wins their tournament is going to get in, and that'll be the only one. Right. So then it leaves our league, which there could be an upset winner, and a lot of these teams are capable.
Oh yeah.
You know, you almost hope you can beat West Florida, and as crazy as it sounds, like you might want to say, well, we're going to be playing the number 1 seed or the number 8 seed. You almost would rather play number 1, because if you're playing number 8, that leaves the opportunity for number 8 to win.
Right.
And if Valdosta wins, as hard as it is to play them, NCAA-wise, it's almost safer to have Valdosta sitting there, and not have a Shorter or a North Alabama. These teams that are all capable of beating any of us on any day. You know, and I guess I think North Al is going to play Valdosta. Right. I'm telling you, North Al will. They are very capable. They're very capable of beating Valdosta. Yeah. Now it'll be tough to go down there and beat them, but they're a good matchup for Valdosta. They're similar, you know, and they'll run up and down the floor, both teams, and it'll probably be 110 to 108. But it would surprise me if it wasn't a close game. Right. I mentioned that to Dr. And honestly, you know, clearly Valdosta won the league, the regular season champs. You know, everything that goes with that, you got to give them credit. But I don't know how much harder they would, you know, they're definitely better, but how much harder it would be to have to play North Alabama again. Yeah. You know, and again, what we're talking about is all We got to win first.
Right.
We got to get to Birmingham first, and we're a long way from there. West Florida, I'll tell you, has played great.
Coming down the stretch.
Yeah, they got off to a slow start. They lost 3 or 4 games conference right out of the gate. They came up here and lost to Union and us on that swing. I think they lost to Valdosta. I think they started 0-3, maybe 0-4. I think then they lost to Huntsville. So they started out 0-4. And they are, we were 4-0, and we wound up tied. So that tells you how much they've won since those first 4 conference games. And, Jeff down there has done a great job of getting that team going. And, his second year to have them sitting right here like we are, a win or 2 away from being in the NCAA tournament. And there is an outside chance, the way these rankings have been, that maybe we could get 5.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. I don't think it's ever happened in this region. I see it. You see it in other regions once in a while where 5 or 6 teams from one league that's a really like the Great Lakes Valley where Bellarmine and those schools.
Right.
But there was only 2 leagues in that region. So
gotcha.
Or
so
used
it could
to be.
happen.
And they would get 5 or 6 teams a lot of years, but our region is just not wired that way. It's going to be hard. It's hard for me to think that Florida won't wind up with 3.
Yeah.
And if they do, then we're going to get 4.
So, yeah.
And
yeah.
The way to make sure we're one of those 4 is win Tuesday night. So it's going to be just it's an NCAA play-in game, and really these last 2 games have been close to that. We knew that we had to win these games. The Huntsville game obviously was an unbelievable challenge, a great win for us. But after you win a game like Huntsville, to come back and have a game like this, it's really hard to come back after a game. And then of course, it was, thank God Jeff was okay, because I thought, you don't want to think about having to play the rest of this game because he went down early.
Yeah.
I mean, the seniors were still in the game, I think, when he fell.
I think so.
So,
yeah,
and
because you put the other freshman
he had
in.
a big game.
You put Joe in, because I mentioned the 3 seniors and the 2 freshman guard.
Yeah, I mean, the great thing about this team, Jeff the other night, and Jeff played well. A lot of times with Jeff, less is more, because he didn't take as many shots, didn't score as many points the other night, but he creates so much for everybody else. And it was one of those kind of games for him the other night where he didn't get he wound up, like, I think, with 8 or 9 points the other night, but he's creating shots for Joe and creating, for Alex had a big night, and so many of them are assists coming from him where he creates. And a lot of times Jeff doesn't even get the assist. A lot of times he penetrates, draws the first attack, makes a pass, and then there's one more after that. So it's be like, need it like hockey where you can have 2 assists.
Well, I was going to mention that he's like Adam. Adam draws so much underneath and kicks it out.
Right.
Jeff draws the defense out to where another wing is open or something.
Yeah.
So exactly, you don't notice as much because he's not as big.
But again, the great thing about our team is, again, Jeff didn't have a big night the other night, but today he gets 32.
That's incredible.
And steps up and just plays unbelievable. And then Brad had another big game, 17, hitting those 3s early that helped build the lead. And then there's Adam and Alex. I mean, we've got. It's a fun team to coach. Yep. I owe Bobby. We don't have to go to
don't have to travel to Florida. Well, I was going to mention, too, this is the second game. Adam goes out in the first half with about 10 minutes left. The other night, it really impacted that first half. And tonight, both Charlie Oswalt came in, and you guys just kept running your stuff. And then Jack Hummel with some major minutes once Charlie got in foul trouble.
The thing with Adam is really hard. It's hard to take because the guys are rolling around the floor on a loose ball, and somehow you pick out it's on Adam.
One player,
Now, do you think if it had been Huntsville the other night, it would have been on Cbu? Do you think if it's Delta State and they're rolling around on the floor, Schmidt's going to get a foul like that? It's never happening.
No.
And Taylor, I mean, it's just not happening.
Yeah.
And Adam doesn't get that kind of respect. Yeah. And then two plays after, he's down there, and again they're manhandling, they're muscling on him like they all do. Right. And they call a double foul. Yeah. And that puts him, 2 plays like that put him out of the game in the first half. And I mean, it's hard to accept that because nobody, it's frustrating when you're trying to guard a Schmidt or a Phil Taylor, seeing them get the Michael Jordan kind of treatment that they tend to get. But I'd like my guy. I got 2 preseason all-conference players that'll probably be all-conference players out there too. They're not getting that.
No, that's right.
They don't get that. Now, maybe hopefully when they're juniors and seniors, that'll come. that people will finally start recognizing, especially the way they bang on Adam.
Oh, man.
It's just because you can't stop Adam any other way.
Right.
So they just beat the hell out of him, quite frankly. And, it just would be nice if he could get an occasional call.
Yeah.
And, and get that kind of treatment. As good a player as he is, get the kind of treatment that he ought to get. But like I say, that is frustrating. But he's got to fight. He's got to fight through it. Let me whine and cry for it.
And the Bucks have to step up when he has the trouble like that, like they've been able to do for 2 games now. But
and again, I always point out too, and I'm happy for Charlie and Jack because they contributed. But that's the other thing that the thing that is easy to forget if you hadn't really followed our team closely is how much we miss Jordan Miller.
Big time.
Jordan, God, he just gave us so much off the bench when Adam would get in foul trouble like that. You just didn't feel like it was as devastating as it is now.
Right.
And many nights Jordan came in there. Some of those early games when we beat West Florida and Valdosta, I think both of those games Adam might have gotten a second foul in the first half. I think, and Jordan played so well. And one night he played so well that I felt comfortable putting Adam back in with 2 fouls, thinking, okay, if he gets his third, this is in the first half, if he gets his third foul, Jordan can go. And what happened, I felt comfortable enough to put Adam in. And what happens, Adam hits 3 threes in the last 5 minutes. And it might have been, it was either West Florida or Valdosta.
One of the two.
It was one of those 2 games right before Christmas. And Adam goes in there and drills 3 threes where now I wouldn't put him back in.
Yeah.
I did the other night. The lead melted away with him sitting on the bench, and the assistants were all like, hey, let's get Jeff back in. Let's get Adam back in. I'm like, we've already waited this long. We're not going to risk. We're not taking him out now. Yeah. We're not going to put him in. We've already lost the lead. I'm not going to throw away and get his third foul on top of it. So anyway, but it's a great win. It's been a great run. I mean, when we were sitting there going into 2 weeks ago with the 4 games we had remaining, we pretty much knew we had to win 3 out of 4. We felt like at least Huntsville would take care of West Florida for us going into it tied. We knew we had the tiebreaker with our win over Valdosta. And at the time, neither one of us had a win over Huntsville, so it looked like that Valdosta win was going to be the money win. And, and then to play the way we played, I mean, the Mississippi College game was by no means easy.
Right.
That was it really kind of turned out tougher than today as far as the way the finish was. We had to hit some big shots. We couldn't stop them. Yeah. And then to go down and play Delta as tough as we did last Saturday and have that thing get away from us the way it did, and Schmidt, great player, makes a great play. But to lose like that and then come back and beat Huntsville and then finish the business here today, let's hope we got that one more and can get us to Birmingham. And then, if we get to Birmingham, as far as the conference tournament, all bets are off. I like our chances on a neutral floor.
Absolutely.
We played very well at Sanford when we've gotten there in the past.
It's a great venue.
I like our chances, and then the other thing is I really like our chances if we can get the win Tuesday. I think I feel pretty confident that would put us in.
And you would have beaten the number 1 in either 2 or 3 and taken the 2 or 3 to the end
region.
of both games.
Right. Having those wins are quality, and we get West Florida. That's another quality win. That's another regionally ranked win that I think would put us over the top. So we just got to take care of business.
One quick
next
thing,
3 days.
The second half of the Huntsville game, 16 assists on 16 makes. First half tonight, Coach, 15 for 15 on the assist to baskets.
Right.
That's 31 in a row, depending on what happened right before and right after. But that's just unbelievable distribution by the Bucks.
Well, I mean, and it's the way our best teams have always been. And one of the things that sometimes is frustrating about it, we have to work so hard and so much together to get shots. And so many of these teams that we play, they just give it to a guy and let him make a play.
Right.
They just give it to a guy and let him drive to the basket, or let him, give it to Phil Taylor and let him make a play. Get it to Schmidt and let him make a play. And I mean, Delta share, and those guys, Taylor and Schmidt, share the ball very well. But they're just so good individually that a lot of times there's not assists involved with these teams. They just create, clear a little area, drive it, and get to the rim, and it's hard for us to stop. But it's a great win. Like I said, now we've gotten this. We talked about this a lot because the last 2 years we had to make that trip to West Georgia 2 years in a row, and just being able to stay at home the first round of the playoffs. And I told our guys, I said, the thing is that it does 2 things. Obviously, the obvious thing, number 1, is you're at home. and you know that you can't beat that. But the other thing is, if you're hosting a home game, the last couple of years, if you look at it, Gulf South teams that have hosted home games and won have made the tournament. So it puts you in that NCAA position, and so hopefully we can do it. But we got to get it. We got to step up one more time.
Tuesday night will be a tough one, but you've gotten two really good tough wins here, and let's finish it out with 3 in a row at Canale, and then head to Birmingham and see what happens there.
Sounds good.
And all right, well, Coach Nienaber, thank you very much again. We'll live to broadcast another game here Tuesday night. So this was going to be my final game tonight because we don't do the Birmingham game. So thank you and the Bucks for letting me have one more game this season here at Canale.
We're all happy to be here, believe me.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend and week of practice, and we'll see you Tuesday night.
Sounds good.